And let's go.
Hello, we are live. Welcome to today's SAP Community Migration Call, which is part of a series.
Let's go.
Hello, we are live. Welcome to today's SAP Community Migration Call, which is part of a series.
Let's go.
Hello, we are live. Welcome to today's SAP Community Migration Call, which is part of a series.
Let's go.
Hello.
Something is not working here.
I'm hearing. Are we live stream?
Something is not working here.
It's live on YouTube.
I think it's working now. We are live.
We are live on YouTube. If everybody else could mute, I think we'll keep going.
Yeah,
Well,
let's continue.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Sorry for the technical difficulties here, but we are ready to roll, and hopefully you all can hear us. I am joining here with Craig Schmehel, and we are so pleased to have you all joining us here with the SAP Community Migration Series. Today's session is all about diving deep into location groups. If you're not already in YouTube, please go there in as much as so we can get your comments, your questions, and have an interactive discussion. So with that being said, Craig, I'd like to turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. And a warm welcome from my side as well. We're having a bit of technical difficulties, as Stacy just mentioned. We're not sure what's going on today, but hopefully everything works wonderfully together and we can bring you our second installment of our live migration series as we get ready for it. And this one's a very special one because I am joined by a very special guest, and that is Kunal. He is one of our SAP champions, and we're going to be hearing from him later on. And as you can see, today is October 17th. We're on that second one. And of course, we have the next ones already planned out: November, December, January, and February as we move towards our migration, I should say. And of course, as we do all of this, each one of these calls will have a little bit of different flavor to it. In this one in particular, we're going to do a show and tell of some of the features that you can expect and already start taking advantage of. And of course, we'll do a live Q&A session via the YouTube chat. If you have questions or you would like to put in the YouTube chat, remember you need to log into YouTube to be able to chat there. But otherwise, we will try our best to answer any questions that you do have. With that said, let's jump right in and let's talk about what's new. And as a big reminder, Universal ID. So we really are pushing and want everybody to be able to switch over to Universal ID, take advantage of all the things that we have set up right now, such as merging your account, linking your accounts, merging your accounts, getting all your content together under one single account, making life easier for you as you bounce around with all the different accounts that you might have. I remember my days as a basis admin. I had like 12 or 15 different accounts that I bounced between. And of course, that was a long time ago, and it would have been great to have the merge in Universal ID then, but we have it now, and we recommend that everybody jump on board, get yourselves your Universal ID all set up, and of course, get those accounts linked and merged together. All right, what do we have next here? How to log in. So, as I said, we've got the platform that we're moving to. So so those who have been following along with the YouTube and with our live streams and our blog posts and our discussions and everything else, we are in the process of moving. So we're going to pick up all of our Q&A content. We're going to pick up all of our blogging content, and we're going to bring it over and merge it together with what we call the groups today. And then what you see today is you already see we have a products area, a groups area, and what will happen in December You will see a products and technology area and a groups area. So we're pretty excited for that. And it's very simple. You can start today already. You can already log in. You can already start taking advantage of it. All you have to do is click that little silhouette of a person there in the top right corner, and it'll log you right in. If you've never been before, you need to set a username. This is actually a display name. So for example, mine is Craig Schmayhill. But if I wanted to use my gamer tag, for those of you who know me from gaming, you could probably see Smurfy Dragon in there or something like that. Or I could use just C Schmayhill, which is what I often use as an alias on a lot of different social media platforms. But that's your choice, and you can change it at any time. All right, so next up. Big thing we're super excited about. We have an entire what's new area that we have just launched. Top level of the menu, you'll see it right there on the right-hand side. It says what's new, and you can subscribe to this. You can interact with each of the different information posts that we send out. So we're blogging in there, and we're putting in different posts about what's coming up, news items, new things for you to be aware of, new groups that are launching, things that are relatively just new in the community. You can subscribe to it, automatically get notifications when there's a new post in there. You can also comment, like, and interact with those individual posts as well, and let us know what you're thinking. So we're really excited for this. And we really, really hope and recommend that everybody subscribe, just so that you're fully aware of everything that's happening between now and the migration for sure, but then also that you can stay informed as we move forward. So when we have new privacy statements, like you see the banner across the community right now today, or if we're going to be having a downtime, or if we're going to be launching a new feature set or something like that, you'll find all of this in what's new. So you definitely want to stay tuned in there. All right, and I think my audio is cracking up and breaking up, so apologies there, but hopefully we can make it through this and it won't be too bad. I'm checking my network connection right now and everything looks great. Let me close the camera. Maybe that'll help make my audio better. So I always thought I was better for radio anyway. So here we go. So what's new? As I just said, there's a whole bunch of new things in there. For example, if you're interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning, or about the SAP's newly announced Joule, you can definitely check out that group and join that and take a look at everything going on there. And then, of course, we have lots of new things coming up, and those are all in the what's new area. So we recommend you take a look. All right, what do we got next? And fresh and welcome to the stage. It is my pleasure to welcome Kunal. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to this live stream. Hopefully your audio is working better than mine is. And yeah, it's, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself? Let everybody get to know who you are and how you are a SAP champion.
Thank you, Craig. So hello, everyone. I'm Kunal. I'm an advisory architect at IBM Bangalore, specializing in SAP CX Suite. Yeah.
All right. And you've been an SAP champion for how long?
So this has been like just 3 months around, 2 to 3 months around.
All right. So fresh into the SAP champion world. We're excited to have you with us. I'm excited because I'll be in Bangalore in a couple of weeks for the SAP TechEd event. So excited to be there. I'll be able to say hello in person and everything like that. So that'll be fun. Folks, if you haven't already registered at SAP TechEd, you can register for the virtual, or if you happen to be physically going to Bangalore, stop by and say hello, because me and some of the other community folks, and of course our developer advocates, will all be there on site to welcome and say hello and talk and really just dive into all the cool stuff around learning, community, and developing and all that. So pretty exciting times. So Kunal, tell me, what's it mean to you to be an SAP champion?
Yeah, so being a SAP champion means being a dedicated advocate, contributor to the SAP community, as well as actively engaging, staying up to date, and driving positive change. So I take pride in shaping the future of SAP community and viewing it not just as a title, but as a commitment to excellence, continuous learning, and supporting the community's collective success. I also believe anyone actively contributing to SAP community is already a champion. There is a champion and interview, there is a nomination and interview process to be considered part of the SAP Champion program. So Stacy, can you put in the chat the link for nomination?
All right, we'll definitely get that into the chat for others who might want to nominate an amazing individual like yourself in the community. We are always on the lookout for the next amazing folks to join the ranks, and that'll be an exciting thing for us as we move into our new platform with a lot of new functionality and feature set that we'll be able to recognize as well. But thinking of the new platform and thinking about what's going on in there right now, we have got some cool stuff. And this call today, we wanted to focus a little bit more on one specific area within the community, just to give everybody an idea of what's going on, some of the things that are happening in there that you can already take advantage of today. And that is the location-based groups. And if I remember correctly, Kunal, you are heavily involved in one particular location-based group itself, correct?
Yes, right.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically, I was involved during the testing and testing of this SAP community new platform, right? So with Dani as well. And where I was actually checking out all the features of location groups. So
excellent. And tell us, which particular group are you heavily involved with? I think we have our next slide here for location-based groups. They're spread across the different regions of our wonderful planet and world here. Which one are you in?
So the location group that I am most active in and that I'm talking is basically Bangalore, and with Take It in Bangalore just 2 weeks away. I'm really looking forward to this group becoming more active than ever before.
All right. It's a good group. It's a big group. In fact, I think it's one of the larger groups already. And for me, you know, coming from a different part of the world, I always know Bangalore as Bangalore, and I often don't refer to it as Bangalore. But tell us what's going on in this group. What are some of the things that all of you are there in the group doing? What are you most excited about having this group and interacting with?
Yes, so basically we in this group, we are mainly talking about lots of things like events, like SIT, Take It, or Stamptis. We are able to do the discussions, join any existing discussion or create a discussion basically, right? So we are able to post blogs as well with something new, like if there is a new event coming, like SIT happened some months back. So it was really something we were able to interact, and we were able to get updates, timely updates on those around the events.
All right, and for those of you in the audience who may not be familiar, the SIT event that Kunal is talking about is actually the abbreviation of the SAP Inside Track event. This was a community-founded format of an event. It was founded back in 2008, I believe. London, a group of folks wanted to get together and hang out and talk, and they thought they could use somebody's office for it. And now we've had Inside Track events actually happen all over the world, with Bangalore having broken all records with well over 1,000 attendees coming together to talk tech and talk SAP together. So we're really excited to see that happen, and it's really cool to know that the Bangalore group has been helping to get all of that happening and getting all that working together. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, folks, anybody can join these groups. Like I said, I'm personally heading to Bangalore for the SAP Tech Ed event. So I'll be there in 2 weeks. So, you know, when I think about these location-based groups, these are perfect opportunity if you happen to be somebody who's traveling, or you're going to be in another area or something like that, and you want to just touch base and say hello, maybe meet up, maybe get together for dinner or for lunch, or just literally just hang out, or even if you just need to get a kind of an idea of a good hotel or a way to get from point A to point B in a certain city. The location-based groups are absolutely phenomenal for this. They are absolutely perfect interaction space to be able to do this. Most of the groups are really active, so you can get in there, start a thread, get people responding and everything like that. And you can do that by joining the group. It's super simple. You can click on the start a discussion. You can start a discussion, or if you're announcing a big event in your area or a big get together or something, you can write a blog post and make that little announcement as well right there inside of the group. And everybody subscribed and joined the group will get notified of it. And that way, it's a great way to keep in touch with your fellow local community members.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Craig, thanks for inviting me to today's session. The migration is top of mind for everyone, and do have few questions around that.
Absolutely. And that's what I would love to jump into now, is all about those questions. What do you have? Because we want to make sure that we're here and available for the entire audience to be able to ask questions, to be able to get answers and everything this, not only about the migration, but also about using the community in general. So Kunal, hit me with it. What do you got? What are those questions that you might have?
So can you share what's top of mind for you about the migration?
Top of mind for me about the migration, I keep trying my video, but I'm just worried that I'm going to break the stream here with the network connectivity. So top of mind about me for the migration. First and foremost for me is I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, right? When you do migrations, there's always that chance that somebody might get dropped off, somebody might disconnect, somebody might be, not feeling comfortable about the new platform and the changes, right? Our world is full of changes, and moving from one platform to another is just another change. And so when I think about that, for me, one of that big things is that UID. Everybody get on universal ID. That way your account is there. You're able to log in without a problem. Come the middle of December, when the migration is complete and we're all on one big happy platform of community.sap.com. So that's a big one. The second one for me with top of mind on the community and the migration is, of course, all the different things that we're trying to accomplish means that, of course, there's going to be decisions that have to get made that are not necessarily going to make everybody happy, right? We're just not going to be able to do it. And there's going to be some things that we have to say no to, some things that we're going to do as a temporary step to move to the next thing. And we all work in the tech industry, right? Every migration, every implementation, everything is going to have something along the way that you do for a certain reason, and then you do it. But that's why we want to have these calls, and we want to do them monthly, including after the migration is officially complete, so that we can make sure that everybody has an opportunity to ask questions. So these are some of the things that are top of mind for me, is just making sure that we move through all of the steps, all of the paces and everything like that equally and quickly for everybody.
Okay. And in the same line, can you share insights on what to expect before, during, and after the migration? For
sure. So before the migration, you can expect us talking about it a lot, right? We're going to just keep talking about it. And we're going to keep reminding people, universal ID, et cetera. We're in the process right now of course, collecting all the links that we have, setting up all the redirects and everything like that. So bookmarks and things like that won't get lost or anything. And of course, we're testing. In fact, we're about next week should be the start of our 4th text migration. Right. So we've already done 3 full technical migrations this year. Next week, hopefully we start the 4th one. And that one's really super important for us, because in the 4th test migration, the goal is to actually deal with all of our users, right? All 3 million, 3.5 million users, and then looking at things like our gamification, our rank ladder, and everything like this, to make sure that we are thinking about the past and everything that's already happened, but also thinking about the future and that future growth, right? So right now we're all in there. There's a whole team of us debating Do we do it this way? Do we start this way? Do we have this many? Do we maybe go this many? So there's going to be a lot of things that we're still in the process of fine-tuning and tweaking, but we're going to be sharing that as we go with all of those steps along the way. So when it comes to the rank ladder, people see it today. It says like galactic and cosmic and everything like that. I can tell you right now, that's all going to change. New names, new levels, everything like that. And what we're doing right now is analyzing all the data. We're analyzing all the different scenarios. We're looking at all the different features and functionality. We're accounting for the fact that for a lot of people, come December, that'll be the first time they're in the platform. So of course, there's certain things like, I've logged in 350 million times and I live and breathe the community. That probably won't be an accurate count because it'll be fresh. So there'll be also some things that we need to actually implement at a later date, right? We may have to wait 6 months or a year before we have to do some additional fine tuning and tweaking and everything like that. But these are the things that we're planning and doing right now before the migration. And then during the migration, we'll do any last minute final tuning and everything like that. We'll be checking all of the content. We're dealing with like 2 million some odd questions, over 150,000 blog posts and everything like that. So during the migration, we're going to be, there's scripts and processes and everything like that that's going to be running. And we're going to be testing as we go. And then of course, post-migration, we're going to have cleanup to do. We're going to notice things that didn't work properly. We're going to notice things that the formatting was off. We're going to notice an account that didn't properly get migrated and things like that. And those are the things that we're going to dedicate a lot of our time to, making sure that we make those things right in order to help things along. Then, of course, we're going to be listening to everybody who doesn't like something. And they're going to be saying, you should do this instead. You should do this instead. And we're going to be taking all of that. We're going to be collecting it all. We're going to continue to do our user testing and our usability testing and everything like this. We're going to continue to look at all those things. And of course, we're going to continue to evolve and change as we go. So the one thing, if I think back to when I first started at SAP in 2005 with community, the one thing, the community has always evolved. I remember we went through, like from a forum perspective, we went through like 6 versions in like the first 2 years since the launch of the community. So we're constantly needing to evolve, and we will continue to evolve as time goes and as things come. So that's what we're doing now, what we're going to do, and then what the future looks like as well. So hopefully it's a long answer, but hopefully that answered your question.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's good. So how can each community member contribute to the migration success?
So again, I'm going to feel like I should have a button with this on recording. First and foremost, how can you contribute to the success of the migration? Get your universal ID. So I'm just going to keep saying that. Get your universal ID. Second is, how can you help contribute to the migration? If you have questions, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Join these calls, jump into the forum and to the discussion area. And we have a thread started in the community. Ask your questions. The sooner you ask us, the sooner we can start to look at it, the sooner we can start to figure out what to do about it, right? So don't wait. If you have a question, ask it now, right? Or, find one of us, contact us, community@sap.com, put it into the forum, however you feel comfortable. But please don't hesitate. By doing those 2 things, getting your universal ID and asking your questions now in advance, that's going to help us, because your question may be a question that 1,000 other people have. And we want to make sure we get those answers going and moving as well.
Right. So yeah, I also get many questions from members while I'm talking to a lot of consultants and SAP community. And then few popular ones are basically like, what are the rewards to the contributions for community members, right? And you were talking about rank ladder and everything. So would like to know a bit more about that.
So this is an interesting one, right? Because over the years, I've done a lot of things in the community, right? We used to do the t-shirts, and we sent out t-shirts, and I hope I never have to do t-shirts again in my life. It is such a complicated process to do t-shirts. But they're fun, right? So everybody loves t-shirts. But yeah, so what's the reward? And I think this is also kind of a complicated one, because each person individually has to ask themselves, what's the reward for me to invest my time for other people? And each person's going to kind of be motivated in a different way for this. Me personally, I like to help people. I love to be able to help people, whether it's with sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge, helping to connect somebody so somebody else can help them. That's what drives me, and that's what made me choose this career path that I'm on, right? I've done community at SAP for like 20 years. I've done community for like over 30 years, actually over 35 years. I'm probably showing my age now. When I was 12 years old, I had a bulletin board system, and I convinced my parents to get a second telephone line so I could have my computer run online 24/7 for people to dial in and connect. And I ran an old Telguard 2.7 BBS system called the Underground with games and everything. That's where I got started coding and everything like that. But that was a community. That was me running a community that I had people connecting from all over the state. I lived in Florida in the United States at the time. I had people dialing in from Miami, which was like 6-7 hours away. Technically a long distance telephone call back then. And so for me, my venture into hosting and running community started at a very, very young age. But that's my motivation. That's what motivates me to do this. And so each person needs to look inside and ask themselves, what motivates you to be a member of the community? Because we also know many people come, they ask a question because they have a problem, they need an answer. They're not here to be part of the community, right? They're just here to get help. That's okay. That is absolutely okay. Okay. So each one of you needs to ask that question. Now, from an SAP perspective, what do we plan to do? We plan to acknowledge, we plan to recognize, we plan to promote, we plan to encourage each and every person who decides to take that one step further to be part of our community. And we always have, right? We've had top contributors over the years. We've had people on stage at tech ed events over the years. We've had the big giant poster boards at events where we have the SAP champions listed or the developer heroes or something like this all the time. So from an SAP perspective, we want to acknowledge and reward, and by recognition, all of those great things that each and every one of you do and bring to the community itself. And by moving up those rank ladders, you're going to get additional things. And one of the things that we're going to be able to do going forward is we're going to give additional permissions, right? So if you've ever been looking at a question in the community, you're like, oh, if they only had this tag as well, that person would get an answer much faster. And if I could only add it, we're going to make that possible. And as you move up the rank ladder, we're going to give you the ability to modify those tags to help your fellow community member get answers faster. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek, right? Once you hit certain levels, I'm not going to say what levels yet, but once you hit certain levels, we're also looking at the possibilities of private areas where our top contributors can actually have direct access and be able to talk to us directly and be able to talk to each other. We're looking at the possibility of even that rank ladder identifying potential next SAP champions like Kunal.
Yeah, that's a very inspiring journey, Craig. Thank you. So next is like, what's the plan to retain the badges, missions, and karma credits in the new platform, right? So we do have all these different contribution points, right, in forms of missions and badges. So how do
what I can safely say, and there might be a few angry team members who are doing all the work right now, but they're doing an amazing job. We've counted, there are well over 1,300 total badges in the community today. That's going all the way back in time. That's going to all the different community that merged together. And of course, all of our 3 million people are spread across all these 1,300 and some odd badges. And actually, I think with Devtoberfest and TechEd, the number is even higher right now for this year. And what we're doing is we're recreating every single one of those badges in the system. And so once again, if you have your universal ID come migration, we will be able to reassign all of those badges you have earned. So every badge you've already earned, we're going to be able to reassign every single one of them. If you have your universal ID and you're ready to go, we're going to reassign all those badges. But going forward in the new platform, we're going to have a fresh set of badges using the system the way it was built, that everybody's going to be able to earn additional new badges. And as you move up the rank ladder, so based on all of those things you've already done over the years, you're going to come into the new platform at a certain level in the rank, right? So we're going to be acknowledging all those contributions, all those activities, all those different things that you've done. All of those things will help to place you in that rank ladder going forward. So your karma credit, which equates to prior to that the karma credit we had points, right? I think I was a diamond level or something like that. It's going to be there. You'll have that as a historical reference type of thing, but it won't necessarily play an active role in where you go moving forward. But all of those past activities, what you've published, what you've created, what people have liked, what you've liked, all of those different things, all those answers that you've given, all those answers that have been accepted, all of that will play a role in placing you in that rank ladder. And maybe you start in the community, somebody brand new starts at level 1, and you're already up at level 7, for example. And that's how we're going to acknowledge as best as possible all of that reputation that you've built and grown over the years. It won't be perfect, but we're going to do our best.
So yeah, thank you, Craig, for answering a few top of mind questions. I think we can dive into the location groups a bit deeper, and that's one of my favorite group within the community, and I think we can start discussing more on that. So Lena, could you go to slide 10 maybe?
Are we able to get the slides back up? We've had so many technical difficulties today. Hopefully we're getting it. All right, so Kunal, since you are a pro at the groups, take it away. Show everybody what you got here.
Thank you. Yeah, so first thing is that we have to understand, maybe can we go a bit before this?
The slides are sticking, Kunal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like our slides are having a problem, but
difficulties. Okay. Maybe I can try to share my screen. Just a moment.
There's been so many technical difficulties. Instead of trying to walk it through or dive into the slides anymore, why don't we just talk a little bit more about some of those features of the community, right?
Yeah, right. So basically, question would come something like how do I access the location groups, right? So it's very simple that we can go to the community groups.community.sap.com, and there we have a menu on groups. Then we have menu location groups, and then we can choose location different. There are mainly 4 locations like America, Asia Pacific, Europe, and Middle East, Africa, right? So after that, once you choose your location group as let's call Asia for me, then I think we get then option of Bangalore, Chennai, and then other different cities of Asia, basically, right? So we also have Greater China as well, Korea as well, Melbourne as well there, right? Shanghai as well. So for me, I will just go into the Bangalore. I will choose Bangalore, option, and then I will just click on join group to join the group, right? So until unless we join the groups, the location groups, we will not be able to engage in that, right? So that's the main thing about location group. Just a moment. Okay, yeah, and then yes, so how can we engage as a member in the location group, right? So you can basically, after joining the location group, let's call Bangalore, and then you can start, you can give kudos if you read a post that you like. You can also write questions, or you can also comment on those questions. You can ask questions around questions as well, right? You can connect with other members of particular location. Like for me, Bangalore, I can connect with people or members via comments, or maybe discussions, or maybe directly via the private messages as well, right? I can also search for content. I can also subscribe to different labels, right? I can also join any ongoing discussion, or I can create a new discussion just by using the menu and drop down. You have two options where you can start a new discussion, or you have another option to write a new blog post. So once you write a blog post, you have some standard guidelines, which is already available in community and will be shared later. So you can then submit it for review, right? And then apart from that, you can also get involved in local events, like local events, and you can stay connected with the groups for later on as well. As I was talking about SAP Insight Track, that is called SIT event, then SAP Decade, which is going to happen in 2 weeks in Bangalore, right? And then also Stamptis is another kind of like local events, right? So those are the way you can engage and then build your connection, right? And then, of course, what will be the reasons to join SAP community groups, especially? Yeah. So basically, location groups bring community members together regionally, right? So, so basically, location group is a virtual place to meet peers and experts who share similar interests and living in your city itself, right? So you can meet them online first, you can chat with them, you can chat and engage with them. And then there is a potential to meet that person in person, right? And then you can also either organize, or you can attend a local events like SIT, you can take part, you can attend the event, or you can also become organizer, part of the organizing committee as well, right? So, and then there are two types of different events, basically SAP Stamptis and then SAP Insight Track event. So SAP Insight Track event is basically SAP sponsored, and other sponsors are there. And Stamptis is basically the experts, like 4 or 5 experts just decide to meet in a cafe, go there, just sit, and then they just do the contribution country, and then just have a coffee, discuss about some topics. So that's really amazing, and I really love the Stamptis events, basically. Yeah.
You know, it's Kunal, it's really funny that you bring up the Stammtisch, right? Because Stammtisch is a very German word, right? For like local meeting, get together, table, you know, like regular table type of thing. But you're actually doing these in India, right? You have your Stammtisch events in India, but not just in like Bangalore. You have them all over India, right? So anybody can join, right?
Yeah, anyone can join.
Fantastic.
So it's happening in all the locations like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, and different locations of India. And similarly, I think in other parts of world also, I see that these events are happening.
Fantastic. I'm amazed when I hear, you know, living in Germany myself, I know what the Stammtisch is. But to actually hear that there are Stammtisches in India in all these locations and happening in different parts of the world is just, I find it fantastic, because it's just that spreading of the global culture and spreading of that just global idea that we can easily get together, we can have our meetups, we can talk to each other, and we can engage with each other. I think that's really cool. It's a great sentiment to community.
Right, and not only limited to that, but we can also basically, when you join a local group or regional group, then you get a chance to discuss your discuss any topic in your local languages as well. So it's not limited to English itself. You can discuss in your local language, even if it is something like for Bangalore, it's Kannada, or for Hindi, Tamil, or any other language. And it's something like that. I have seen some discussions around that in the local groups, and it's really nice. Yeah. And then, of course, what happens is that, yeah, you build a lifelong connections when you directly connect with the local groups, right? And there is a very much potential that you can kind of like connect and then meet them in person. Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That is really cool.
Okay. And then there is some few more reasons why you should join location groups. So unless you join location group, there are many activities you won't be able to do, right? So if you join your a location group, then you can get notified in case you have, in case there is someone who responds to your post or responds to your any topic or questions which you might have subscribed to, or any question which you might have posted, right? And then apart from that, you get a chance to exchange the private messages between the members. Then also you have a lot chances to personalize your local group experience, basically, right, with this. And then, of course, you can submit your blog post, you can edit them, you can make it customized in your local language as well, because it's a very local group. So that is also possible. But to do all those things, you must join the location group. Yeah.
All right. A lot to do when you join. And of course, when you join, you instantly get those notifications and everything else of what's going on. So that's fantastic.
So yeah, here we have some SAP community resources. This slide will be shared anyway later. But yeah, Craig, over to you. Basically, anything we missed or that you would like to add apart from these things?
You know what? You covered so many topics. You covered so much. Honestly, I could probably just sit back and relax and just let you do these from now on. This is fantastic. I'm really excited to have you here with me, and it's really cool to be able to interact like this. I think it's been fantastic. There's been some good stuff going in the chat I've seen in YouTube, with quite a few people watching live. And of course, that means we are fully open for Q&A. If you have any questions, or Kunal, if you have any additional questions, we can address those now. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to type those into the YouTube chat. Remember, you got to log into YouTube to be able to add to the chat. But then we'll do our best to answer everything we can. And if you are watching this on replay, you can always head over to the community itself and tag a question right into the discussion thread for migration. And with that, we'll pause for a minute here and see if there's any questions coming in. So, Kunal, I mean, it's been great having you here. So I'm really excited that we were able to make this happen. I'm really excited that hopefully I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks in person.
Yeah.
And this is really fun.
Yeah,
Hopefully, Eddie.
And I'm really looking forward to meeting you in Ticket. And there are more SAP champions who are joining from Germany and parts of world. And I'm already in touch with them. And I'm really looking forward to connecting with you all. And yeah.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen any questions pop up yet. Make life easy for everybody. Ask us, right? Come hit us up with your questions. We're happy to answer any question that we can. All right. So with that, I would say have a great rest of your day, wherever that happens to be. Thank you very much. Oh, there is a question popped into the chat right before I almost signed off completely. Do we have any USA community groups? We do. We have a very active one in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. We have a very active one in Dallas, Texas. Those are two of the very active ones that we have in the US. Have a great rest of your day, wherever that happens to be. Thank you very much. Oh, there is a question popped into the chat. Somebody's explaining the live stream. Do you have any USA community groups? We do. We have a Stacy. So again, technical difficulties. Apologies for that, everyone. But I believe we also have New York as well. Also as a location-based group. So definitely check them out. They are all free to join. All you got to do is go in. Let's see, New York, Milwaukee, Newtown Square, Dallas, Texas. I think those are the US ones that we have currently. But most importantly, if we don't have one for the city that you live in and you are interested in running one, you can actually reach out and ask us, just like Kunal, he's running a group. You don't have to be an SAP employee. You don't have to be an SAP champion to run a group. You just have to have the desire to pull together your local fellow SAP connected people and make the group happen. So if you don't see yours in there and you want to start one, just reach out to community@sap.com and we'll take a look and we'll see what's possible. With that, have a good rest of the day or night. Thank you very much. Kunal, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.